Yo, everybody, it's your boy Joseph here,
And Carlos,
and this is the
go
passenger
passenger
seat.
seat.
Doo-doo-boo-doo. All right, welcome back, riders, to another week in the passenger seat. Today, we're going to be talking about how do you phrase it? The MCU and the
I would like to call them the Netflix defenders. So that way, people get a general idea of who we're talking about,
okay, that's fair.
except for
Um,
Punisher.
Except for Punisher, yeah. Okay, so we're basically just going to be talking about the integration of the Netflix Marvel shows or Netflix Marvel's characters into the MCU.
Yes, and as you all know, spoiler alert, you guys can stop here if you don't want to hear this.
Skip
As you
skip maybe like 20 seconds.
as you all know, Daredevil appeared in the MCU in the new Spider-Man movie, and Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin, appeared in the new Hawkeye TV show. So we thought we'd talk about more about that, about the integration of these Netflix defenders inside the MCU and how they will make it possible.
Yep. So as you all might know, if you don't know, then we're about to tell you. The Marvel characters on Netflix are we've got Daredevil, of course. We've got Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and the Punisher.
Yes.
And yeah, so we I guess we're just gonna give our thoughts on what we think is gonna happen or how those characters are gonna integrate into the MCU. Since we've already seen a couple, albeit from the same show.
Yes. Like for the integrations inside the MCU, I figured we'd do like this little order and starting out real simple, which is Daredevil's universe, because that's the simplest one to understand right now because we already know what's going to happen, I think. So I guess the main question would be like whether he would continue to make cameos or he'll have a full out movie or he'll just be a TV series.
I'd love to. Well, I mean, I'd love to see a standalone Daredevil movie with Mr. Cox. That's so I can't say that with a straight
It's so stupid.
face. Charlie Cox. Yeah, so it would be cool to see a standalone movie with Charlie Cox as Daredevil. For sure. But then it begs the question, see that's where we get into this thing where are they just doing Daredevil? Or are they integrating the other characters as well? Because we haven't seen any other characters from the other shows.
Of course, yeah, and that does beg a big question. Also, one of the bigger questions people are asking themselves is if they get integrated in the MCU, is it a clean slate or is their Netflix show canon? Then that plays also a big factor in it too, whether or not their story mattered.
Right, because then it would just change everything. I mean, oof. Basically, when we got spoiler alert, skip 10 seconds or 20. When we got Matt Murdock in No Way Home, that means that all the events of Tom Holland's Spider-Man occurred, you know, in tandem with things that were happening with Daredevil.
Yes, although the season 3 did end on a good note, like there wasn't anything progressing after series. This guy got arrested, and Daredevil's like with his friends already and back being a lawyer. So I don't know if this is after the events of season 3 or again, they're gonna give them a whole complete clean slate and just reboot the whole thing. Which honestly, I'd be kind of a little disappointed because a lot of the
Right.
Netflix shows are really good, and for you to throw that information away, I don't know, it's just kind of weird because then it feels like the shows just never existed.
Right. All right. So speaking of that, who would you most like to see in the MCU. If they were gonna put, let's say, one more character into the MCU, who would you most like to see? Um, you know,
I I think I'm gonna name a character that is a fan favorite, and I'm gonna name a character that I would like to see personally.
okay,
Who I would like to see personally is the Punisher. I thought John Bernthal did a really good job, and I feel like it's kind of to throw that away would really suck. Like he just
yeah,
never plays him again. Like that for me would suck. The fan favorite I could tell at least is Jessica Jones. People really seem to like Jessica Jones after Daredevil.
right. So my choice would be personally, I think the fan favorite would be the Punisher.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
yeah, that's my opinion at least. I think the Punisher would be the fan favorite, and personally, I'd like to see Iron Fist. As long as they can change it up a bit, change up his script where he isn't constantly saying that he's Iron Fist.
are you
Um,
Iron
I know it.
I actually saw this article where they were trying to talk about whether or not these guys would get a TV show or movie, or they would just do other people's TV shows. And one of the
Mhm.
interesting part about Iron Fist is they mentioned like Iron Fist would be better off appearing in Shang-Chi too.
That's you know what I was about to get to that too. When I think about who these characters can obviously how we're gonna integrate them into the MCU, that was gonna be one of my points. He has to come out with Shang-Chi, I believe. I think that makes the most sense.
I feel like it's a perfect idea because you don't if you say the Netflix show is canon, then that way you don't have to tell his story anymore. People should already know who he is.
Right.
He'll appear, he'll help Shang-Chi out, they'll fight together, and obviously knowing the MCU, they'll probably give him a better costume.
Yes. Not only that, but they're gonna have to put him on par with Shang-Chi because Shang-Chi already has the 10 rings and he's OP. I just feel like Iron Fist would be falling a little short at the moment just because he hasn't gotten like the full range of his powers yet.
They might do a time skip.
They could. I'd love to see, or they could do a standalone movie with Iron Fist and have him get there to that point and then release Shang-Chi too. That would be pretty.
Yeah.
That would be
One
pretty
of the
cool.
other ones was Luke Cage. These are like the appearing in other people's movies, and it was the appearance for Captain America 4, which is Anthony Mackie playing Captain America, which is a black Captain America, and Luke Cage presenting himself as also another black superhero. Sort of create this movie of like social injustice and things like that they touched upon the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. So people were just talking about how that would be like an idea.
So I like that idea. However, Luke Cage sort of ended on this cliffhanger that is not resolved. So if what you're saying, stands true, that whatever happened in the Netflix shows is canon, then they need to resolve that issue first
Or time
before
skip.
or but I mean that leaves so many loose ends. I'd rather that they take their time the way they always have and really lay the foundation before doing things like that.
Yeah, it sort of makes me feel that at that point, the time skip thing. At that point, I feel like just reboot the character. Then
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I feel like if you're gonna time skip, reboot the character. If you're gonna continue, take your time, be patient, lay the foundation that needs to be set, and finish the things that you have going with the series because it sucks. We had so many things that were unresolved in most of these shows.
yeah. Uh, Real quick, to get through Jessica Jones. People would like to see her in She-Hulk. A scene where because She-Hulk is a lawyer, so it could be a scene where you have girl power, where She-Hulk needs an investigator to figure something out, and she doesn't want to get her hands dirty. Who does she call? And then you see someone pick up the phone, and it's Jessica Jones. And
Ooh,
it's like small things like that where I'm like, that could work if they do it properly.
I know, but they haven't even introduced She-Hulk yet.
Yeah, she's getting her own TV series on Disney Plus.
Right. So Yeah. I mean, that's a way in. That's a way in.
I could see that. I could see Jessica Jones appearing in that Disney Plus show and then just
Continuing
helping
from
her
there.
out and not appearing in the entire series, just sort of like that small like cameo and then being like, okay, peace, like I'm done.
Damn. So this would okay. This is what I'm scheming, right? This is what my mind's working on. Um, they start introducing the Defenders, um, in different ways. Obviously, you have Daredevil showing up with Spider-Man. That idea with Jessica Jones. Um, maybe we get Iron Fist and Shang-Chi. Little by little, we get all these characters, and they slowly integrate into the MCU just in time for Secret War.
Oh yes.
That I think would be a nice touch. If we manage to get everyone in, um, for that, because that's the next thing I think for the Avengers. Um,
Yeah.
so it'd be really interesting. It'd be very nice touch. Again, they'd have to take their time. I don't want them to rush into it. Not that Marvel has done that before. They've taken their time with this. Usually with the movies and the setup and everything, and I think that's why they have so much success, because they actually take the time to develop these characters, before doing anything crazy with them.
Yeah. I guess it does bring that question because if you have, the question of canon, right? Because if you have Daredevil and spoiler, if you have Daredevil and the Kingpin already appearing in the MCU, in the Netflix series, Daredevil met the rest of the Defenders. So if you say that his story is canon, that means everybody else has to be canon.
True. That's true. See, that there's so many ways they can tie it in. They could do that too. They could just say, "Oh, well, we already got one here, the main one, so now everybody just sort of falls into place by default." The same way you can also have, Doctor Strange's thing coming on,
Oh
and
yeah.
also have that turn into something where everybody just
You
shows
know,
up.
I think I know they mentioned the all this stuff where they'll appear in someone else's movie, but I gotta say, if they were to do something on Disney Plus, I would actually like them to do Heroes for Hire with just Luke Cage and Iron Fist, like in the comics,
Oh, dude, that would
like
be amazing.
just a Disney Plus show called Heroes for Hire.
That would be amazing.
I think that'd be really cool.
Personally, Iron Fist is probably my favorite out of the group, and he really grew on me because I heard so much. You know, there's a lot of hate for the first season, and I don't know. I just really liked, Iron Fist, and I don't know if it's because I'm biased, being a lover of martial arts, but yeah, I don't know. That idea would be super awesome, though.
You like what you like. I mean, like honestly, Iron Fist is a really good character. The show, the first season, did not do him justice because in the comics, Iron Fist is the best fighter in the
Mm,
MCU. So it'd be very interesting if it was beside Shang-Chi and seeing both of them like really kick some butt there. I think that'd be really cool.
for sure.
But that's just our predictions and our thoughts about the Defenders appearing in the MCU. We'll see what Marvel actually does about it. But we thought we'd just give it a shot.
Yeah. All right. Well, as always, writers, thank you for joining us in the ride. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe on this video. Tell us your thoughts on what you think what will happen between the Defenders and the MCU. How do you think, or what are your theories of them showing up and how they'll do it to join the MCU? And as always, thank you for joining us in the ride, and hopefully you'll join us next time, Heron.
The passenger seat.